Live. Welcome, Crypto Warriors, to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 612. Today is Friday, November 20th, and I'm your host, Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at our new time, 10ish Eastern. So, very 10ish day, and it is 10 Eastern, so it will be 7 a.m. Pacific time for those of you who are out on the West Coast. But first, I have some great news stories for you today, starting with the top story. Corporate Bitcoin frenzy. Companies now hold 15.3 billion in Bitcoin. Morgan Creek Digital co-founder sells his Chevy for Bitcoin. BlackRock's chief investment officer says Bitcoin can replace gold to a large extent. First company sponsors Bitcoin retirement plans launched in the US. Shout out to that. And last but not least, rapper Logic invests 6 million in Bitcoin as latest celebrity to catch crypto bug. Not really big on celebrities, but hey, any type of endorsement is good for us. So first things first, let's get into these prices. For those of you again who have been in the market for a while, you know we are definitely in a bull market. Bitcoin today is at $18,584.39, up 2.25%. Ethereum at $503 is up 5%. Ripple moving forward, finally out of the quarter range, is at 31 cent, up 4%. Chainlink at $14 is up 1.8%. The big winner this week, Litecoin at $81.63 is up 2%. And last but not least, EOS is 276 up 3.57%. So first things first, let's take a look at the chat. Oh yeah. So hey, how you doing, Tiff from NYC, always in early. Let's see, Clarence Dennison. Yeah, getting close to episode 1000. Yeah, trying to make it, man. We been around a long time. Love doing it. Let's see who we got. Tessa Hall, Marcellus Love, what's going on? Crypto Sovereign, good morning, good morning. Yes, yes. Glad you all are here today. Again, beautiful Friday. Have some great news for you today. And first things first, let me make sure I can share what I need to share. Let's see. And should be good here. So, first things first. BlackRock's chief investment officer says Bitcoin could replace gold to a large extent. This is a huge development. As far as how investment goes, BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager. Uh, investors funds said Bitcoin could take the place of gold to a large extent because crypto is so much more functional than passing a bar of gold around. We've said it plenty of times on here. Gold is basically a shiny rock, and of course, it has its use cases. But when you explain it to the younger generation, that's pretty much what they're going to see it as. Crypto, you can definitely store it as much as you want. You can send it, receive it. It's a global currency. We all know it's better. All right. So, speaking during CNBC's Squawk Box on Friday, BlackRock CIO of fixed income Rick Ryder responded to a question asking if governments might try to regulate Bitcoin if its price keeps rallying. He says, I think cryptocurrency is here to stay. I think it is durable. This is a complete 180 from what we've heard before. We've heard, large companies say crypto is a, Ponzi scheme that is just, fly by night. Most of the time I feel like they were disrespectful. They were like, oh, that's cute. You guys got a little something you like. But then now they can't ignore it, which is what we have been saying on the Gentleman of Crypto for years. So he also goes on to say, do I think it's a durable mechanism that could take the place of gold to a large extent? Yeah, I do, because it's so much more functional than passing a bar of gold around. And I want to hit home on that because some of the older people who may think gold is the standard for store value. Remember, Bitcoin is only 11, 12 years old. Most of the kids growing up, they've grown up in a world full of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain talk. So they're going to choose that. So it doesn't matter what is right now. It's about what's going to happen. I think we're seeing that in the price, and we're sort of front running it now. So let's see. Let's get into some of the comments. Who we got in here? Let's see. Sergeant Crypto, we in the house. What's up? What's up, Jamal J? Lucky Lloyd. Let's see. True Seeker. I appreciate you, my good brother. Appreciate you as well. Let's see. Edward K. Great news going into the weekend. Absolutely. Oh yeah, thank you for that tip as well. $10. The bull run is here. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're making some profit, as we all are in the Bitcoin and crypto market, go ahead and send that tip. We'll let Google or YouTube take out their 35%, which is all good. But yeah, thank you for the tip. James Doe, what's the current circulating supply of gold? Unknown. You know what's crazy? They have websites where you can see the quote unquote supply of gold, but I see news stories all the time where they find bars of gold off the coast of somewhere, and it'll have 24-hour news cycle, and then it's gone. So, I think they're finding new gold. What if they find gold on Mars? Who knows? What if they find it in some desert? I mean, I just don't think gold is provably scarce, and that's what I think the biggest advantage is. So, let's see what we got here. James Doe, Venezuela not allowed to access their gold. Next choice would be what? Crypto. That's the thing about crypto. Good luck trying to stop a bunch of people with crypto because this Pandora's box has been open. You can literally create one from scratch, start all over. It's one of those things like whack a mole. That's how we always describe it. Pretty hard to stop it. Mm. Clarence Dennison, why is Litecoin running up so fast? If you haven't seen bull markets, whenever Bitcoin runs up, Litecoin is right alongside of it, sometimes more, because for a lot of retail investors, people who are new in the market, that price looks a lot more manageable. They'll look at it and say, "Hey, it's only $70, $60. I'll buy it." And now I think it's up to 80. Same thing with lower coins. I think that's why Ripple has so much good marketing early. Some of these altcoins, some people swear by it, but at the same time, you also have to watch yourself. Some of these developers get funny. Let's see who we got. Champ Chamberlain took the words out of my mouth. Malik Howard, Morning Warriors, what's going on? Yeah, they're going to say they found gold on Mars. Yeah, to me, gold it's too flimsy because it's too many factors and too many hands in gold right now. I don't think Bitcoin is there. I don't think it will. Let's see. Sergeant Crypto, China fake gold. Yeah, I mean they found fake gold in a lot of national treasuries. They just don't market it as much. Let's see. So moving forward, let's pull this up. Our next story for today, and we'll pull this up here. Corporate Bitcoin frenzy. Companies now hold 15.3 billion in Bitcoin. Wow. Companies now hold over 842,000 Bitcoin, which at the current price of 18,200 is worth 15.3 billion. So with the price being a little bit higher, it's actually a little bit more. So, um, you know, this is one of the things we talked about where not only are retail people getting into it, this is institutional investment. You're seeing it now. It's right in front of us. This is such an exciting time to see it happen after so many years of talking about it. So, according to Clark Moody dashboard and data from Bitcoin treasuries, this is the equivalent to a staggering 15.3 billion, which is what they're talking about their Bitcoin holdings. Public companies and institutional investors are continuously accumulating Bitcoin. Of course, you've heard about MicroStrategy with Micro Sailor. They bought $425 million worth of Bitcoin. Big gracious. Also, Jack Dorsey, shout out to him, Square, them as well. I actually think this link right here, if you go to the story Bitcoin Treasuries, they have a list of companies. I actually downloaded it today earlier of all the companies that have Bitcoin in their corporate treasury. So if you own a business or know somebody that owns a business, I'm pretty sure these companies did their research. Of course, do your own, but this is a great time to use that as a lifeboat, so to say, instead of relying on cash. The demand from Bitcoin and companies and institutions likely comes from its growing reputation as a digital store of value. Once again, like I said, and a quote from Sailor: "This is why Bitcoin should be neither a currency nor a payment network. Principles of humility and harmony dictate that we should allow technology partners to provide for payments and defer to governments on matters of currency. BTC is a purely engineered store of value." I do agree with him there. However, Bitcoin has evolved and it will evolve more. So even if it's a store of value, let's say we get one Satoshi equals $1 one day. That would be a great unit of account. You may have a base layer stable coin on top of that. Who knows? But it is great as a store of value. So shout out to CoinDesk, Cointelegraph getting that out because most of the time, whenever we talk about how these companies are moving, follow the money. They have the money and they're investing in Bitcoin. This is very, very simple, guys. Literally, just buy Bitcoin and wait. That's pretty much what you have to tell anybody. Captain James T. Crypto, no more BitMEX manual liquidations. That's why the price grows naturally now. I think there is some market manipulation that has been taken out. So you're starting to see accumulation and you're starting to see levels where it's getting bought up really quick. We are in a bull market, and it used to be if you had a big drawdown, you might have a couple days of waiting. we're in a bull market. We've seen the price drop what $500-700 and then get bought up in 30 minutes. That's crazy. Rashu, what's going on, brother? Mark Cooper, what do you think about Elron? Not familiar with it. James Doe, too many crypto gold scams. Absolutely. Do not trade your crypto for gold. If anything, trade your gold for crypto. Sergeant Crypto, did we expect anything other than Jeezy from the bottom of the map? Oh yeah, shout out to Jeezy and Gucci. Great battle last night. Finally got some entertainment, working really hard. So glad to be able to wind down with that. That was definitely some Black History last night. Let's see, Ray Mata, what exchange are you using and why? Definitely shout out to Swan, shout out to Uphold. Please, if nothing else, get your coins off of Coinbase if you still use it. Bybit, haven't used it personally, but I know people that swear by it, so seems pretty good, pretty solid. So let's get back to these stories, especially something as interesting as this with Morgan Creek. For those of you who have any spare things that you want to sell for Bitcoin, I think people are starting to do that now, especially with this story. Morgan Creek digital co-founder sells his Chevy for Bitcoin. Jason Williams states here prefers to sell his old cars for crypto instead of cash. Um, he is the co-founder of Morgan Creek Digital, dedicated digital asset investment business run by Morgan Creek Capital. And he announced via Twitter. I actually saw this when it happened. He just sold his murdered out 2007 Suburban for Bitcoin, easy decision. And he sold it for zero point 0.4 Bitcoin, which is crazy, around 7,300. And for those of you who don't remember, how fast Bitcoin moves, zero point 0.4 Bitcoin could literally be, worth six figures one day. So this is actually something that people are doing as a thought part. Like if you have something that you can sell and you don't really need the money, I know a lot of people personally. I've done this. If you have things, just sell it and buy Bitcoin with it because long term as a store value, people like him and myself, we understand that it'll far outweigh something now. Delayed gratification, people. Delayed gratification. Um, let's see if the Bitcoin price breaks 130,000, which it probably will at some point. There's a chance Williams will have sold his 13-year-old car for as much money as a brand new model. So that is what we mean by purchasing power increasing and Bitcoin having the incentive of saving because your dollar has the incentive of spending because it's worth less tomorrow than it is today. Bitcoin has the incentive of saving because it's worth more tomorrow than it is today. So you want to make sure you hold on to it as much as possible. So let's take a look at some of these comments in here. CBTV, what's going on? Crypto Blood up in here. Let's go. What's going on, brother? Truth Seeker, when Bitcoin is in the 6-digit range, there will be days where the price jumps 10,000 in one day. I absolutely see that happening probably in the next 3 or 4 years, simply because when demand reaches a point, a breaking point, and supply is limited, the next halving is going to be ridiculous. But right now, we're already seeing it. I saw a chart where it said that Cash App they only have half of the supply for the demand that they're supposedly expecting in the fourth quarter. So that's just one example that if that keeps increasing, I mean, you're gonna have people, in the streets like, "Hey, I'll sell you whatever for Bitcoin," because that may be one of the only things you can use. So Tessa Hall, let's see what's going on. Too Rich to Miss, what's good? How you doing? Clarence Dennison, I got miners for sale. They are profitable at this point. Hey, I tell people when the Bitcoin price goes up, everything is profitable. Miners, trading groups, trading bots, podcasts, anything you want to do, this is the time to be a seller. Captain James T Crypto, once Bitcoin hits 20K, retail FOMO will kick in. Yep, starting to see that. Currently, it's almost at 19K right now. I think it's at 18.6. Let's see. Lucky Lloyd, the banking system is DOA. Invest in crypto now or regret it later. Absolutely. Rashu, y'all seen that chain analysis BTC circulation article? I've seen a couple from before, and I think what they're doing their job. They're tracking Bitcoin payments for government agencies. They got a security contract, and they're trying to thwart some of the movement. However, again, like I said, crypto's like a game of whack-a-mole. Good luck stopping everybody and shutting down innovation because you got Lightning Network coming. You have similar type networks on other altcoins. I mean, it's a free for all right now. Let's see, Andre Jones, we in here. What up, Zay? Hey, what's going on, brother? Too rich to miss. Beware of the scammers. Yes. Quick side note: if you got any type of message from an account that was weird, somebody's faking my account on Twitter and on Instagram. Just means the message is getting out there the way it should be. And people are starting to notice. So, one quick story here. First company sponsored Bitcoin retirement plans launched in the US. Oh, yeah. Glad to hear it. So, if your grandmother or grandfather is worried about their retirement and they want to actually have a stored value that is not manipulated and pushed down based on inflation, this company, Dime or DAIM, however you say their name, hopefully I'll get it one day, has launched the United States' first employer sponsored retirement plans that support investments in Bitcoin. The digital asset investment management. Oh, they try to be cute, man. Okay, yeah. Digital asset investment management has launched the country's first employer-sponsored 401k retirement plan supporting Bitcoin. They'll serve as the advisor and fiduciary in helping companies create a 401k plan that offers several recommended model portfolios of varying risks, traditional assets, an allocation of up to 10% to Bitcoin. So when we tell people products like this, even though they're not necessarily Bitcoin itself, they're the gateway. As soon as somebody's like, well, I want 20, 30% exposure to Bitcoin, they can't provide that. And then what do? They buy real Bitcoin. So even though some people may frown, like, ah, man, whenever these companies create 401k, they're just redoing the banking model, but throwing Bitcoin in there. Yeah, sure. But at the same time, you have to understand this is all people know. It's a bridge to a new world. And of course, like I said before, once people realize that they don't actually own their Bitcoin on exchanges at these quote unquote crypto banks popping up, some of these IRAs, they'll push for the real thing. But these companies are needed. This is how we move to the future. Let's see who we got in the chat. Dexter Hand, whole Isaiah for the gear. I rock it in the Dominican Republic in the bag. Oh yeah, definitely got some new bags, new gear coming out for the release of the new book. The Christmas time is going to be great for those of you who like the merch, the book, and of course the second book as well. Mm, let's see. Um, Tiff, how do you feel about buying in altcoins right now? I'm not saying this is financial advice, but when Bitcoin flies the way it has, when it has any sort of dip, the runoff, the profit from that usually flows into altcoins. They do ridiculous numbers. That's just been historically. However, I think there will be a tipping point where most of the altcoins will either be breaking like SEC law or somebody's law, and they'll either have to shut down or some of these coins go away. So I would stick with some of the more blue chip, bigger ones. But yeah, I mean, altcoins, I would never tell you what to do with your money. I'm just telling you that that has happened historically. Crypto sovereign, which Bitcoin BTM would you recommend utilizing that doesn't require KYC? That used to exist, doesn't exist anymore. You used to be able to use Lamasu ATMs. I remember in what's in the Fox Hills out in LA. Fox Hills, you can use that Bitcoin ATM up to $900, no KYC. Now every BTM has it. Um, they have small, like 400 or $500 limits where all you have to have is a phone number, maybe a coin flip. You can try Lamasu, some of the bigger ones as well. Let's see. Who else we got here? Sergeant Crypto, bridging the gap, like you say all the time. Yep, you gotta know, you gotta go what some people know, and then combine it with where we're going in order to get people there. Because if we're already ahead, we basically got to pull them along. And let's see, Tesla Hall Chainlink is up today. Yep, absolutely. D Lot, what's your thoughts on Uniswap and Chainlink? Again, I'm not a part of the Link Marines officially, but I have been doing my research on it. Looks very solid as a project and as a community. The biggest thing is, like I tell people before, don't FOMO into something. It's all time high right now. It's 20, so $20 somewhere in there. So I'm still doing my research, not necessarily concerned with jumping in as soon as I've heard about it. Let's see, Morph. Hey Zay, will you do any extended content on only Bitcoin ATMs? If you purchase the book, it comes with 3 webinars. The first webinar being 8 ways to earn Bitcoin without trading. One of the key components, and it's in the book as well. It describes the Bitcoin ATM business, how to get involved as a business owner, and how to get them, as far as regulation, KYC, all the things you need to know. So, yes, that is available as a part of the webinar series if you purchase the new Bitcoin in Black America second edition, which I'll put the website in here now. And working on teaming up with CoinFlip to do some more webinars for more people who are interested. So look out for that. Let's see, scaling into Ethereum. I doubt I'll get to 32 to lock it up. Oh well, you're well on your way if you're in Ethereum already. So yes, last story of the day, and I'll get you out of here. Um, my man Logic again. Like I said before, whenever somebody who's popular says, they have Bitcoin, it's cool. But yeah, we've been here, buddy. Um, Rapper Logic invests 6 million in Bitcoin as latest celebrity to catch crypto bug. Depending when he exactly bought in, Logic could have already made 2 million. A few people asked him on Twitter, how much is it worth now? Somebody said 8 million. He was like, yeah, just about. So yeah, about 2 million more made just because he bought it when he bought it, a month ago or some change. In a video posted to his Instagram story, Logic, real name Sir Robert Bryson Hall II. What the? He was a rapper. Bragged that he bought 6 million in Bitcoin last month. While making a colorful gesture popularized by fellow rapper. What is going on here? He did an exhibit. Collar pop? What do you? Okay. He followed this up by trying to make out that it was really no big deal, muttering, F it, YOLO. And then they explained YOLO, okay, and seriously. So basically, he bought $6 million worth of Bitcoin, roughly 433 Bitcoin, at 13.8 thousand. And then, of course, now we're at 18,000. Who knows how much it's worth today? So he changed his name to Bobby Bitcoin. I did see that. That was crazy. But for marketing purposes, whenever somebody does that, people it legitimizes it. They think, hey, yeah, this must be the real thing. I remember last bull run, Future posted something about Bitcoin. The Migos mentioned Bitcoin in a Rolling Stone article. It was like, it brings a legitimacy. It makes people think, oh yeah, this must be real. If my favorite rapper, has it as well. Unfortunately, that shouldn't be the case, but it is. So let's get into some more comments before we get out of here. Ray Mata, Bybit wants you to use Google 2FA to take out your funds. Is that not a form of KYC? Because now they can track you on your phone. Technically, yes, but I'm sure KYC is baked into any exchange. It's just how slick they are at doing it. Let's see. Mark Cooper, Zay, do you think XRP will hit $1 in 2021? I don't know about XRP, Ripple. I'm not into it as much. Really, just joke around with them just because it's sort of a running joke. Their army is very strong with bots, but it could hit $1. I just don't touch it. True Seeker, the chances are good that Bitcoin would never be worth less than 5 digits again, even if we see a correction. Absolutely, I think that's very possible. Speaking with some other seasoned traders, they were very impressed how 10,000 became sort of the bottom, and then 12,000, like 12,600, sort of became the bottom for a while. All these institutions are buying as much as possible. That bottom is going to get harder and harder to slice through. Let's see, Kadeem Midget, same here, waiting for that alt season. Yes, alts will change your life if you know what you're doing. Let's see, D-Lock, last question. Thoughts on Ren? Not familiar with it. Let's see, Rashu, I'm hearing rappers like Larry June and Currency rap about Bitcoin now. Yep, two of my top 10 favorite rappers are both Larry June and Currency. Not going to say I told them about Bitcoin. All I'm saying is once they hit me up, I'm trying to be in a music video. Let's see, Madam Crypto, will emails be sent out before the webinars begin? Absolutely. Those of you who have ordered books, you will get access to all the webinars and if you order the book after the webinars are aired in December, you will get them recorded. So you will get all access to that information again. Plenty of information in the book for those of you with remittances around the world, for those of you looking at things like Bitcoin ATMs, ways to make money without having to necessarily trade, different aspects of how Bitcoin can be used for reparations. All of these things discussing the Black community, Bitcoin and marriage. I can't wait for people to read about that. So this is all in the second edition of Bitcoin in Black America. Of course, the gentleman of crypto. We're glad to bring you news on the daily. King couldn't be here today, but he gives his love as well, and we can't wait to see how this pans out. Simply because I would hate to say I told you so to most of my friends and family, but for those of you who watch, you've been with us for a while. Let's see. Last few comments before we get out. PFC Wells, where he gets 6 million from. I mean, I know he got money, but I can't see him having all of that at once. I think he kind of does because he stayed independent for a while and it became popular. So and he made his own beats. So he didn't have a lot of overhead, and then he went platinum and won Grammy. So he kind of, it's one of those things where if you do it solo, you make all the money. It's just harder to get there. So he might have really had that money. I heard he was up pretty big, one of the richer rappers because he didn't actually sign until later, I think. Let's see, Rashu, definitely in my top 10 too. Isaiah Mitchell will start mining. Yeah, everything is profitable. Miners. I mean, like I said, crypto culture. Thank you, bro. Oh yeah, no problems, brother. And again, thank you all for watching today. Our new time again is at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 10ish. And we can't wait to bring you more news stories, see how this bull run plays out. Have a good weekend, folks. Cheers.